Hello everyone, my name is Ashley. For those of you who don't know me, I am new to YouTube and I did create this berry glittery look for prom with a maroon lip. So if you do want to learn how to do this, then keep on watching. We'll get right into the makeup video. Make sure you do follow me on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram name down below. And I hope you guys love it, and I will see you next time. Bye guys. Okay, so first we're going to take the top section of my hair and just clip it back. This is just how I get my hair out of my face to do my makeup. And then before you start applying your makeup, you are going to wash your face. I do use the Origin Zero Oil Deep Pore Cleanser. This just makes my skin nice and soft. It takes off any oils I have or dirt from sleeping. I do get really oily in my T-zone when I am sleeping, so I do wash my face with that every morning. And then you are going to want to use a toner. My favorite toner is the Burt's Bees Acne Solutions toner. You're just going to apply that on a little cotton round. And then I do start in my T-zone and then work the rest of my face. Down the neck a little bit, because I do put foundation down my neck just to blend it in. And next we are going to go in with some moisturizer. You do always want to put on moisturizer before you put any makeup on, just so makeup does tend to dry out your skin a lot, no matter if you have oily skin or dry skin. So I do really love this Active Hydration Cream by Olay. It is a little bit thicker, which I do like when I put a little bit heavier makeup on. So you're just gonna apply that with your fingertips all over your face. Okay. And you are gonna wanna let that get tacky for a couple minutes. Okay. So we'll let that sit and we'll be right back. Okay, so now that the moisturizer is nice and pushed into my skin, we are going to go in with a primer. Make sure you do use your favorite primer, one that you have used beforehand, just because you do want it to be one that you are comfortable with. Especially for prom, you want makeup that you do feel comfortable in. So I do use the Farsalli Unicorn Essence Primer Drops. They're just this pink primer, and I am just going to put about 4 or 5 drops on my hand and just rub that in with my fingertips, and then I'm actually going to press this into my skin. You want the primer to get into your pores, and I love this primer because it gets a little bit tacky, and that's what you want for a primer, just so your makeup will stick to it a little bit easier. I also do love the Professional one. It does have a silicone base, so it's going to be a little bit smoother, but I do like this tackiness because it does keep my makeup on a lot longer. And then next I do this just for my personal use. I do use the Farsalli Rose Gold Elixir, and it has like these little gold flakes in it. I do put them on my lips. My lips get very dry, so I just put this on my lips and let it soak in. Especially if you're going to put some lipstick on, you do want your lips to be nice and smooth so it doesn't crack throughout the night. Okay. And then I am going to go ahead and do my brows off camera. I do use precisely my brow pencil for the front half of my brows, and then I do use the dip brow just for the tail end, just because they are a little bit more sparse. So I'm going to go do my brows and I will be right back. Okay, now that the brows are nice and done, we are going to carve them out with some Tarte Shape Tape. I am in the shade Light Neutral. I do have two of them. One of them is a more pinky base, one is more of a yellow base. So when I do conceal, I do use both of them, but for this, I just use my Light Neutral. So we are going to put this on the back of this little angled Morphe brush. And you're just gonna go right underneath the brow. I usually don't carve out my brows, but we are going to for this because I am going to bring the Tarte Shape Tape down onto my lid for eyeshadow primer. Okay. So now you're just going to drag it down. Like so. And then come around the front so there's not a line of concealer. My mirror is right here, by the way, so if it looks a little dorky, it's because my mirror is right underneath the camera. Oh, and I forgot to wet my beauty blender. I'll be right back. Okay, and you do want to have a wet beauty blender on hand just to blend that in. What a beauty blender does is it kind of melts the product into your skin. Using the water that's in the beauty blender, it just kind of melts it in. So we're just going to tap that right on top. And you can see they are a lot more precise than this side, so we're just going to do the exact same thing over on the left side. Okay. And then we are going to want to set our eyelids with whatever setting powder you like. I do like the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. And you're just gonna tap some into the lid like so. And I just take my beauty blender that I just used directly on it, shake it out a little bit, and then just press this on there. And the reason for setting your concealer, it's because so it doesn't crack or separate, but mainly on the eyes because you do want to set your primer or your concealer with something, because if you don't, when you go to apply the eyeshadows, it won't be smooth, it'll be tacky, so your eyeshadow will grab to certain parts of it and not to other parts of it, so it's going to be patchy. So that is the reason you set your eyes. Okay, so we are going to start out, before we do foundation, we are actually going to do our eyes first. And this is because if we have any sort of fallout, we can just wipe it off with a makeup remover wipe instead of removing all of our makeup that we just put on. So we are going to go for a berry rose gold look. So I am going to use my Modern Renaissance palette. This is my current favorite palette. And then we might dip into a couple shades of the Morphe Dare to Create palette. I'm obsessed with this palette. If you guys do not have it, make sure you go to morphe.com and purchase this bad boy. It was I want to say it was a limited edition for the Christmas time, but I think they still have it. But if it is still available, I highly recommend getting one. And we are going to go in first with just this fluffy brush by Wet n Wild. I picked this up at the drugstore, so it is a very affordable brush. We are first going to go in with this shade right here. It's called Bon Fresco. We're going to dip into that and tap off the excess. And we are going to start on the outer V, just working our way in windshield wiper motions. And you just want to make sure it's nice and blended out. You don't want any harsh lines. And that concealer will also help your eyeshadow stay on all night. I know that when I went to prom it was a lot of fun, but it did get really sweaty and hot because you are dancing around, you are having a good time. But the last thing you want to worry about is your makeup separating or creasing. So you do want to use a concealer or your favorite eyeshadow primer. Either way, you just want something that you are comfortable with. Then we're just going to go in with a little bit more just to create a nice transition color for some of the berry shades that we're going to put down on the eye. Okay, and I could keep blending for another 40 minutes, but it's not really necessary. Okay, so now we are going to go into, what are we going to go into? I'm just looking at both palettes trying to decide. We're actually going to go in with the Love Letter one, which is my favorite color in this whole entire palette. We're going to go in, tap it off. We're going to set that right at the outer corner because we are going to create a berry halo eye. So we're going to put that right there. I'm actually going to grab a little bit of a smaller brush. This one is just a ColourPop brush. I do need to clean it off, but thank goodness we're using these berry shades again because it's already on the brush. This one just makes it easier to get in there. The other one was a little bit too fluffy. But we will go back to it actually right now to blend. And then you're just going to continue to pack on this color until you like the intensity of it. So you're actually going to bring the leftover into the inner corner, what's ever left on your brush. And then we're going to pick up a little bit more on this tiny brush, top off, and then you're going to do the same thing on the inner corner. You're just going to place it there and bring it inward. We're going to use that same ColourPop brush and we're going to blend. And then I'm going to dip back into the Bon Fresco, the one that we used right at the beginning, just to help blend it out again. Okay. I'm gonna find, okay, this one's a little bit smaller. This one does not have a name on it. I do believe it came with my beauty school kit. I did go to Aveda, so I did get a little bit of a beauty school kit. It came with some makeup brushes, which was cool. And then we are actually going to dip into the Dare to Create palette. We're going to go into this berry color. I did throw away the color sheet, so I don't know what they are called, so I'll just try my best to point to them. I'm going to dip into that and tap off. We're going to put some of that on the outer corner. And on the inner. Okay, and then we're just going to keep blending. Okay. So now that we are all blended to my liking, you can continue to blend all you want, but this does look good for me. We are going to go into the Stila, let's see, this called in Karma. It's just the metallic, the Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. So it is a pinky. I am actually going to put this on the back of this brush. I don't remember where I got this one from either, but it is really nice. I don't just put this on, I put some of this on here. Like so. And we're just going to put that right in the center where we didn't really touch it with any eyeshadow. We're going to press, starting in the middle and going up. And that just adds some nice shine to it. I went to, let's see, 3 proms in high school. I went to my junior prom, and then I went to both mine and my boyfriend's prom senior year, and I don't think I went to any of them without a little bit of glitter on my eyes or my dress. So glitter can never do you wrong. And I just put a little bit more on this brush to pack it on. You do want to be really careful with this glitter though, because it will transfer if it's not dry. So once you put it on, you do kind of want to go like this for a few seconds. And then I am going to take this ColourPop brush again, and we're just going to kind of bring it on top of the glitter on the edges and really just blend that in. Okay. Now, I'm gonna close that. Now that I'm liking this berry halo eye, we are going to add a little bit of eyeliner. My favorite eyeliner is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. This one, it's just a liquid liner. Okay, let's see if I can do this without messing up. A lot of times eyeliner takes me quite a few times. Okay, now that I am happy with that. Okay. You can definitely pop on some lashes from here, but I'm just going to apply some mascara just because I don't have any eyelashes on hand right now. Okay, this is the Benefit Bang Mascara. I did get this from my Birch box, and I'm in love with it. So, that is how that eye is looking. I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and I will be right back. Okay, so now that we have both sides done, this eyeliner gave me a little bit of trouble, but one side always does. You can't ever just have two great eyeliners in one try. And now we're just going to highlight the brow bone. I'm trying to look for a good brush. Okay, so this is the Morphe brush. It just looks like this. We're going to dip into the Modern Renaissance palette again, into the Vermeer color. It's like a foiled pinky gold kind of. We're gonna tap off. But we are just going to put that right at our brow bone. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Like this. And just really highlight that brow bone. Okay, I like that. And then the same on the other side. Bring it forward, bring it backwards. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of this and put it right in this inner corner. Like so. We might have to apply a little bit more after we put some foundation on, and I'm going to wait to do my lower lash line until after we do the foundation. So we are going to, I am actually going to put a little bit of this Instant Comeback Facial Serum right on my finger, just a teeny tiny bit just for my nose. A lot of the times my nose does rub off makeup a lot faster, so I do try to put as much stuff on here as I can to help prevent it from coming off. And if you did have any fallout from your eyeshadow, you can just take a makeup remover wipe and wipe it off. That is the good thing about doing your makeup before, or your eyeshadow before doing your foundation. So we are going to take my favorite Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I am just going to pump about 1, 2, 3, 4 half pumps on the back of my hand. I'm going to roll up my sleeve a little bit. And then we are just going to use the damp beauty blender that we did use for the eyes. This is just my favorite one. I'm going to use this longer edge side and just dip right into it and just pounce it on the face. And then bring it down the neck a little. I do like to bring it down the neck because you don't want like a harsh line right here. You don't want to be able to tell that you're wearing foundation. That's why I bring it down the neck a little bit. And on the ear. Okay. And we are going to add concealer and bronzer and highlight, but you can see how this side looks a lot different than this side. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. We're just going to pounce that into our skin, down the neck, on the nose. And I do like to use a beauty blender for my foundation. opposed to a brush, just because when you do a brush it is a lot thicker, and I feel like it's a little bit easier to get a cake face from. So that's why I use a beauty blender. It just really melts the products into your skin, opposed to just leaving them right on the surface. So we are going to take just the rest of that and then hit the forehead. Okay, so now that that is all good, we are going to go right in with some concealer, and then I do just conceal the normal places. I do underneath my eyes, the middle of my forehead. I avoid the center of my nose just because I do feel like products do come off of my nose extremely fast, so I just don't even bother. So we're going to dip into the light neutral. I am going to just do 2 stripes on each side, like so, and then I go a little extra and I put this one right down the center. This one is light medium honey. It does have a pinky undertone opposed to the yellow undertone that the other one had, and I feel like it's great for my skin tone because I don't really have a pink undertone and I don't really have a yellow undertone. I feel like my skin is so in between, so I just use both. This isn't necessary whatsoever, but I just do it just because I do have both shades. Okay, so you want to make sure you do really blend in your concealer, because nothing is worse than having just a line left over from concealer. And I do just come over the bridge of my nose just with a little bit of extra product because I don't hit that directly. So then we are going to just do the same on the center of the forehead. I'm going to apply 2 lines of the light neutral and just 1 of the light medium honey right in the middle. And then same thing, just with the beauty blender. Okay, and then we are going to bake the face a little bit with some setting powder. If you don't know what baking is, pretty much just putting some setting powder on the areas that you concealed to make sure that the product doesn't move around. This is important for an event like prom, just so your product stays where you put it. You don't want to be dancing around and your makeup be separating. That is the worst thing. So we're just going to apply it on the underneath the eyes, the center of the forehead. And while we let that sit, we're just going to go in to the bottom lash line with this color prop brush that we used for the eyes. We're going to dip into Love Letter again, tap it off, and we're just going to bring that right on the lower lash line. Sorry for the that was a horrible face, but you just gotta do it. Okay, that just completes the look, is the lower lash line. We're gonna apply some bottom mascara and then we'll go ahead and wipe off that bake. Like so. I'm going to take this big fluffy brush from It Cosmetics and just go ahead and brush off where you put that pressed powder. Okay, now that we're looking very ghosty white, we are going to bring some warmth back to the face with my favorite Hoola bronzer. We're going to take this with a Real Techniques blush brush. This is my favorite bronzing brush, even though it's a blush brush. I just love the way it applies. So we are going to put this right here on our cheeks. This right on the sides of the forehead. And I just made a horrible line on my face. So we're just gonna take this guy and kind of blend it out because that was horrible. Okay, better. Okay, now that we kind of have some warmth back to our face, we are going to apply my favorite part of doing my makeup is my highlight. It is just my favorite part. It's so much fun. I do use the Makeup Revolution by London Strobe highlight. It is this. It is a gold highlight and I am obsessed with it. I was, let's see if I can find it. Maybe I don't have it anymore. Oh, right here. I was obsessed with the MAC Soft Frost highlight. Ooh, that one's so good too. But I am currently obsessed with this gold one. We're going to apply it right at the center or the high points of the cheeks. Sorry, I thought I heard something. And I could probably highlight my whole face. The end of the nose. And the bridge of the nose. So now that we're nice and highlighted, we are going to apply some lipstick. Now just which one do I want to use? Do I want to use this one? Or this one? I think we're going to go with this one. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is in the shade Fudge. And we're just going to apply that. Ooh. Okay, now we're going to take one of these cotton rounds again because I did get it right there. Okay, so now we're all finished. I hope you guys loved the makeup look. It was very fun for me to create. If you do want to watch more videos, click over to my YouTube channel. I am going to be uploading more. I am very new to YouTube, so this is my first or second video depending on which order I decide to post in. So I do hope you guys loved it and I will see you next time. Bye.